Hare Hare Rama, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru, Jaya Radha, Damodara, Radha, Damodara, Radha, Damodara, Radha, Damodara, Radha, Jaya Lalita, Vishaka, Kalita, Vishaka, Iri Radhe, Lalita, Vishaka, Iri Radhe, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jaya Baladevi, Jaya Sri Baladevi, Jaya Sri Jaya Nitai, Gura Sundar Nitai, Gura Sundar Gora Haribo, 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 Go, Haribo, Haribo, Go, Haribo. As go to the rest of the Srimad in divine grace, which of them bring to the understanding of Bhagavad Gita. Iskon Famrachaya Jagaguru Parampurusha Prabhupada ki jai. Iskon Naravat Manachaya Vrinda ki jai. Ananda Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Shri Namachaya Brahmachaya Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Keva Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasari Gauravata Vrinda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Damodara Gopa Gopinasha Makum Radha Kunji Godana ki jai. Vrinda Vrindam ki jai. Mathura Dham ki jai. Navadev Dham ki jai. Ayodhya Dham ki jai. Nilachala Jaganapuri Dham ki jai. Shridham Mayapur Dham ki jai. Shri Gita Nagari Dham ki jai. Glories to the beautiful Lordship Shri Shri Radha Damodara Lalita Vishaka ki jai. Glories to the beautiful Lordship Shri Shri Jagannampala Dev Subhadra ki jai. Glories to the beautiful Lordship Shri Shri Gonita ki jai. Sama Vida Bhakta Vinda ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan Yagina ki jai. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai. Brihad Meridanga Shila Prabhupada Transcendental Book Distribution ki jai. Sama Vida Bhakta Vinda ki jai. Nitai Gora Premanande. All glories to the Sambhu devotees. All glories to the Sambhu devotees. All glories to the Sambhu devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Tamam Shukra Krishna Krishna Buddha Krishna Patita Krishna Pati. Namaste Krishna Padava Prashana Shri Parana Shakti Patita Krishna. Everyone is welcome to Srimad Bhagavatam, Gita Nagari. Today's text is taken from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 4, text number 39. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Verse 39. Vachedudati Vaikunta Chinta Sabala Chitanaha Vacheda Satita Chinta Lada Udayati Vachedudati Vaikunta Chinta Sabala Chitanaha Vacheda Sati Chinta Lada Udayati Vachedudati Vaikunta Chinta Shabbala Chitana Kwachit Dashatita Chinta Lada Udgayati Kwachit. Can anyone repeat the Sanskrit?
Kwachit Rudati Vaikunta Chinta Shabalachetanaha Kwachit Dasati Tach Chinta Hrada Udgayati Tvachit.
Kwachit Rudati Vaikunta Chinta Shabalachetanaha Kwachit Dasati Tach Chinta Hrada Udgayati Tvachit.
Anyone else? Word translation. Kwachit, sometimes. Rodati, thrice. Vakunta Chinta, by thoughts of Krishna. Shabala Chaitanaha, whose mind was bewildered. Kwachit, sometimes. Hashati, laughs. Tathinta, by thoughts of him. Aladaha, being jubilant. Udgayati, counts very loudly. Kwachit, sometimes. Translation and purport by Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. Because of advancement in Krishna consciousness, he sometimes cried, sometimes laughed, sometimes expressed jubilation, and sometimes sang loudly. Report. This verse further clarifies the comparison of a devotee to a child. If a mother leaves her small child in his bed or cradle and goes away to attend to some family duties, the child immediately understands that his mother has gone away, and therefore he cries. But as soon as the mother returns and cares for the child laughs and becomes jubilant. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj, being always absorbed in thoughts of Krishna, sometimes felt separation, thinking, where is Krishna? This is explained by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sunyayitam Jagasavam Govinda Virahiname. When an exalted devotee feels that Krishna is invisible, having gone away, he cries in separation. And sometimes, when he sees that Krishna has returned to care for him, he laughs, just as a child sometimes laughs upon understanding that his mother is taking care of him. These symptoms are called bhava. In the nectar of devotion, various bhavas, ecstatic conditions of a devotee are fully described. These bhavas are visible in the activities of a perfect devotee. Om Gyana Timiranda Shya Gyana Jana Salakaya Chakshu Om Nitam Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapita Mina Bhutali Som Pakramaya Dadati Swapadanti Kam. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagapati Gopisha Gopika Kantarada Pantanamastate. Namo Vishnu Pada Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Teta Swami Iti Namini Namaste Krishna Padaya Prabhupada Shtatmani Shri Gora Karuna Shakti Bhakti Tedati Namini. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shri Mati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gora Vani Pracharini Nevashisha Srinyavari Pashati Adi Satarini. Vanjakapa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Ivacha Patitanam Pavanabhyo Vaishnava. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasari Gauravata. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The text again reads, Kwachit Dudati Vaikunta, Kinta Shabala Kitanaha, Kwachit Dashati Tachinta, Lada Ugatyati Kwachit. Because of advancement in Krishna consciousness, he sometimes cried, sometimes laughed, sometimes expressed jubilation, and sometimes sang loudly. So, Hare Krishna, everybody. Thank you all for being here today for us to discuss about Krishna and his devotees. Yeah, in the text is being explained how Prahlad Maharaj, because of his exalted or his a highly advanced nature in Krishna consciousness, he sometimes cried, sometimes he laughed, sometimes expressed jubilation, and sometimes sang loudly. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains why that thing happens. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is explaining, is trying to what do you call relate the situation in which the emotions that Prahlad Maharaj was exhibiting. Prabhupada is trying to compare it to a child, the situation of a child. When a child is with the mother, you can even see in the pastimes of Krishna when Mother Yashoda was feeding him, and Mother Yashoda puts him down to go and take care of another chore in the house. Krishna becomes so upset that he started destroying stuff, breaking stuff. And here Prabhupada is explaining how sometimes when a child is left, the mother is taking care of the child and the mother leaves the child. As soon as the mother leaves, the child begins to cry, thinking that, why is my mother leaving me? And as soon as the mother comes back, the child becomes happy and start laughing. And so Prabhupada is explaining how the symptoms that Prahlad Maharaj was displaying, Prabhupada is comparing that to the situation of a baby, of a child. And we say also how this comparison of a child to advancement in God consciousness is sometimes also described in different scriptures, like biblically in Matthew chapter 19, verse 14. Once when the people wanted to bring their children close to Jesus, and the disciples of Jesus were trying to stop them. No, you can't do that. Don't bring the children. And Jesus said, leave them. So in Matthew chapter 19, verse 14, he said, let the children come to me and do not hinder them from coming close to me. And he likened them. He says, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such who behaves like these children. People who are like these children. They own the kingdom of heaven. And another time when the disciples, there was an argument among the disciples that who is greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And so they approached Jesus. Okay, Master, we want you to disclose to us in the kingdom of heaven who is the greatest. And he said, he pulled a little child to himself and he said, the one amongst you who behaves like this child, he is the greatest in the kingdom of God. And whoever serves such a child in my name serves me. So we can understand that the scriptures never contradict itself. Why? Srila Prabhupada was explaining the verse that Lord Chaitanya's verse, Sunyayitam Jaga Savam Govinda Virahiname, when he was describing how Lord Chaitanya was expressing that being separation from you, a moment is like 12 years or more. That when the pure devotee, someone who is really absorbed in thinking about the Lord, because he's fully absorbed in thinking of the Lord, sometimes he feels separation from the Lord. And once the person begins to feel separation from the Lord, then sometimes the symptoms that manifest comes in the form of tears. And sometimes when the person feels that, oh, the Lord is right in front of me, then the symptoms that show is what? It's great happiness. So the person will be laughing uncontrollably. But these things, all these things that happen in the various forms of bhava, because in the paper Srila Prabhupada was explaining that it is explained vividly in the Nectar of Devotion, the different types of bhava. That is, actually, when we say bhav is like the various types of emotions that is expressed in love of God. And so the Nectar of Devotion, in the Nectar of Devotion, chapter 34, specifically page 279, it is explained. It gives some examples about different types of bhav. And it's explained that vibhava actually means the loving sentiments that develops within the heart of a particular devotee. When a devotee becomes very, it's expressing some loving sentiments. So the particular, what do we call it, sentiments that shows is referred to as vibhava. And then there is another one called the anubhava. Anubhava is the resultant manifestation of vibhava, because when someone experiences vibhava, the symptoms that show, sometimes it comes in different aspects. It comes as the moving of the eyebrows. It comes as fear. It comes as astonishment. Or sometimes it comes in the form of smiling. So all these aspects of vibhava is referred to as anubhava. And then when vibhava and anubhava, when a devotee experiences these emotions, then it causes for developing what do we call it? The different causes. He said the different causes for developing anubhava and vibhava is referred to as steady ecstasy, or the Sanskrit verse name is Sankari Bhava, steady ecstasy. So we realize, how can you even know that you are experiencing something like that in your devotional life? I mean, let's even put the devotional life aside. When we come to our everyday life, sometimes somebody may be offering some service, maybe helping you do something. And if the person is helping you do a particular, like you are engaging in a particular service, or you are engaged in a particular chore, and someone comes and voluntarily offer to help you. So when the person begins to offer that type of service to you, and you are actually appreciative of the service the person is doing, you can feel that sometimes you feel some sort of some loving type of symptoms, that you start feeling some lightheadedness. It's like in your heart you feel like, oh, I'm so grateful to this guy, this person's help that he's giving me. And so it can sometimes give you some goose pimples on your body. Other times too, it's not somebody offering the service to you, it's you yourself that you'll be offering the service to somebody. And because you are so absorbed and you are very sincere in offering that service without even thinking about what do we call it, any results from offering that service, then some sort of satisfaction comes into your heart. You feel so satisfied in doing that service to the extent that sometimes it can give you some goose pimples on your body. So you can see what to think of trying to be, and when you get so absorbed in thinking about the Lord, how much you can feel that. If even you're doing something for your ordinary friend, if you can sometimes feel some emotions like that, what to think of when you do that similar services to the Lord himself. Sometimes the emotions becomes very overwhelming. And some devotees, those who are really advanced in devotional service, when such symptoms begin to show, sometimes they cannot even control it. It becomes so overwhelmed. They become so overwhelmed with those emotions. So nothing is hidden under the sun. Krishna has given us everything that we need that can help us understand whether what we are doing is right or wrong. He's not hiding anything from us. All we have to do is to follow the prescribed thing that has been given us. And gradually, we will be developing these emotions. It will come automatically. You don't have to strive for it to come. It automatically appears as long as you do the right thing. And so it's very necessary that we try somehow or the other to do our best, in the process that we have been offered by our acharyas, especially Srila Prabhupada. He has given us all that we need to be able to come to the platform where we can be fully absorbed in thinking about Krishna, and that at the appropriate time, we might begin to experience these emotional symptoms of absorption in the Lord. It's not something that you have to like particularly think, oh yeah, I want to get these symptoms. I want to get goose pimples in my body whilst I chant the names of God. No. You do it, you do the right thing, and the appropriate time when the Lord desires, it comes. So if even you read the Net of Devotion, particularly a chapter before that, chapter 34, it also explains how you don't have to particularly be thinking that, oh, I want to experience these symptoms. He says those symptoms can be given by two ways. One, by the mercy of the pure devotee. And that's why it's very important to always try to gain the association of the pure devotees. And two, by the mercy of Sri Krishna himself. But The nature of devotion explains that you cannot particularly, hey, I need the mercy of Krishna. And thinking that somehow or the other you can, just by saying you need the mercy of Krishna, Krishna will just start giving you his mercy. It doesn't work like that. You do your part, and if Krishna wills, that one, if Krishna wills that he wants to give you his mercy, it will happen. But when you seek the association of the pure devotee, somehow or the other, by constantly being in the association of the pure devotee, somehow or the other, you might be very lucky to attract the blessings of the pure devotee. When you behave accordingly, you will attract the blessings of the pure devotee. And once you attract the blessings of the pure devotee, then automatically you'll be properly situated where you can gradually be able to get absorbed in thinking about the Lord. And when that happens, somehow or the other, by the blessing of the pure devotee, you might be able to start experiencing some of the emotional, symptoms of serving the Lord. So everything we do depends on the part of the type of association we get, and ultimately on the mercy of the Supreme Lord. But we cannot force the Lord to give us his mercy, but we only have to do the needful, and at the appropriate time, if the Lord wills, then his mercy will be given to us. So all that we do is, let's do our part of the business, and then the rest, we leave it to the Lord for him to decide whether he's going to bless us with his mercy or not. That one is up to him. And once we do that, then we will stop thinking that anything happens to me and I'm thinking, why me? Why not you? If something comes your way, why do you even question the Lord that, oh Lord, why me? So what do you want the Lord to do? Do you want the Lord to take it from you and give it to another person, and you think that is okay? You are going through some little hardship. Oh, Krishna, why? Why me? So if not you, where should he take it to? He should pick it from you, Kaswaru, and give to Jagannath Pandit, and you think that's okay? It doesn't come to you, it goes to another person, that's okay. So we should be ready to accept whatever the Lord brings in our way. Of course, it's difficult. It's not. We say it theoretically, it's easy said than done, right? It comes and but somehow or the other, whatever comes our way, sometimes in the initial stages we may feel like it's a burden, but in the future time, you remember that thing and you laugh over it. Wow, this thing happened, and I thought it, and you come to realize that it was actually a blessing that came upon you. It's such a tricky something. Immediately when it happens, you may think otherwise, but in the future, you reflect on it and you see the blessings that actually came out of that situation that came. Right? Hare Krishna. Are there any questions or comments? You end here and then. I will read the text again, and then if somebody, the devotees, have any comments or questions, then you can bring it up and then we can discuss. Because of advancement in Krishna consciousness, he sometimes cried, sometimes laughed, sometimes expressed jubilation, and sometimes sang loudly. Hare Krishna. Are there any questions or comments? Let's see. I see 7 people on the Zoom, but I can only see 5 on my screen. Okay, let me see. Okay, now I see everybody. Yeah. All right.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for a very nice class. Just thinking about your statement about appreciating blessings in retrospect, that sometimes when we're going through various things in the course of our lives, um, the circumstances are such that somehow we are unable to appreciate, or we can't see how um, we are actually being blessed by Krishna. Somehow or other, his unseen hand is manipulating the uh, events of our life in a way that is benefiting us, but sometimes we can't see it. And only later, sometimes years later, we look back and realize, oh my goodness, that was actually a great blessing. But while we're in the middle of it, sometimes it seems like a curse. Sometimes things may seem to be quite bad, and we're unable to see it any other way. We just can't see how any good can come of this. This is just a terrible situation. It's just very unfortunate. But the extraordinary nature of Krishna consciousness, even sadhana bhakti, is that when you come in contact with Krishna's devotee, pure devotee, or what to speak of Krishna himself, the effect is always good. It's always positive. Krishna is described as being all good, absolute. Everything about him is absolutely good. And any contact with him is always beneficial. But sometimes it's hard to see because our vision is so limited, and we are easily covered over under the influence of Maya's illusion. We see things to be other than what they really are. We imagine things that do not exist, and the things that do exist we don't see. But sometimes later, in a state of greater purity, or at least with the passing of time, as our perspective expands, we can look back on the events of our life and see how, in fact, uh, everything was somehow expertly engineered by Krishna for our purification, for our advancement, and to facilitate our devotional service. At least that's my experience. I've been through some terrible things, and sometimes even other people look at me and they hear about some of what I have gone through, and they just think that's terrible, and they feel sorry for me. Um, and sometimes I felt sorry for myself, but I've been through a lot of things over the course of many years, and time has taught me a bunch of things. And one of them is that when you're in the middle of it, sometimes you can't appreciate the blessings. But I have confidence now that I can always expect Krishna's blessings, I can always expect Srila Prabhupada's blessings, and that somehow or other, whatever I'm going through, I may not be able to appreciate it immediately, but it's actually somehow um, beneficial to me. And when I look back on the course of my life, and including all of the uh, traumatic events that I had to endure, I can see how actually all of these things were uh, extremely beneficial spiritually. And even though some of those events were really terrible and extremely painful, when I think about it, I have to admit that if I had the opportunity to do it all over again with the ability to change any aspect of it, I would not change a thing because it was really very perfect. And I could not have conceived of a better uh, outcome. And so it just leaves me feeling very grateful and secure because I see that time and time again, in spite of my inability to appreciate things at times, in the long haul, I realized that I was actually um, being cared for like a child and protected and uplifted, educated, um, purified. Um, and that has been a consistent experience. So the consistency of the loving care of Guru and Krishna results in a, feeling of security that I don't need to worry about anything. I'm in the best of hands. Um, Even if things appear to be bad, they're really not bad. I have the blessings of Guru and Krishna, and so everything is very good. The prospects are very bright. I can look forward to a wonderful future. And what's Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yeah, yeah. It's amazing. Krishna is always protecting us. But unfortunately, the way we view things is when we become so absorbed in thinking of ourselves and gratifying our senses, then when even good things are happening to us, we don't see. Actually, there is nothing in this world that happens to you that doesn't have a benefit in your life. Take, for instance, if you put your hand in fire, what happens? It's so painful, right? You put your hand in fire, it burns you, and automatically you pull your hand off, right? That pain there, that is your benefit. Because if the fire doesn't give you that pain, you end up leaving your hand in the fire. By the time you realize, your hand will turn into ashes. So Krishna has put that fire nature, that burning sensation in fire, so that it reminds you that you don't leave your hand there for long, because if you do, at a certain point in time, it will turn to ashes. And you completely lose your hand, right? So because Krishna is protecting your hand, he has put that burning sensation in that fire that immediately your hand touches it, automatically you move your hand off. That is the protection. So similarly, whatever happens to us every time, it's a stepping stone for us to make what? Jump one hurdle and make progress in life. But unfortunately, most of the time things happen to us and we think, oh, why me? Why Krishna? Why me? And so we don't end up seeing the benefit of it. And the popular example that I used to give is about this woman whose daughter every day crosses the road to take the school bus to school, right? And one Friday, Thursday night, getting into Friday, out of nowhere, the daughter became so sick that they have to rush the daughter to the hospital, emergency. And immediately they went to the emergency, the daughter was admitted. And the woman was crying. This woman was a real devout Christian. And he was crying and praying to the Lord, why me? Lord, why? So she prayed the whole night, rebuking the work of the devil. Dear Lord, please, you should neutralize this work of the devil. The devil who has put my daughter in the hospital, please, let my daughter come back home. Praying and crying and all that. But no matter how strong she prayed, the daughter's situation got worse. So come Monday, the daughter was still at the hospital. But the mother was still praying that the works of the devil who has put the daughter at the hospital, God should cancel the works of the devil. He should neutralize the works of the devil and bring the child back home. Then Monday morning, the child it's a group of children at that place that they all cross the street to go take the school bus. So come Monday morning, the other children came and said, Mom, where is your daughter? The woman started crying. Oh, the devil's work. God destroyed the devil's work. The devil has put my daughter in the hospital. And so when they saw the way the woman was crying, they decided to go. Right. So whilst they were crossing the street to go to the other side of the road to pick the school bus, there was this truck that came from nowhere, smashed all the children. None of them survived. And the woman was there. I mean, she saw everything happen. And immediately, you know what she did? She hit her chest and said, oh God, thank you for putting my daughter at the hospital. Otherwise, he would have been one of them. So now that the tragedy hit, now she has come back to her senses. Now she is realizing that the daughter being at the hospital is not the work of the devil, but it's the work of the Lord. Because if the Lord has not hidden the child at the hospital, what would have happened? The child would be dead like the other case. So that is the nature of this world. Most of the time, things happen to us, and we never realize the true benefit of that happening until later. And the same thing happens. Sometimes we will be praying seriously. We will be praying seriously to Krishna that we need something, but that thing never manifests. Huh? And when you entirely forget about it, some days, some weeks, some years later, when you are not even desiring for that thing, then that thing automatically comes. It just comes without you asking for it. It means that the time you were asking for it, you were not qualified to get it. So when the time came for you to have it, the Lord automatically brings for it to you when you are not even asking for it. He let you have it. So similarly, things happen in our life, and the Lord is giving us the opportunity to learn a great lesson about that event. And that is the reason why it's more important to seek the association of devotees, especially the pure devotees, because they can instantly let us understand that this thing that has happened to us, there is a real benefit out of it. Why do you think Srila Prabhupada had to go through all the trouble? Look at the last days of Srila Prabhupada, what he went through. You think Prabhupada was not powerful enough to have just overridden all those hardships in his life? He's a pure devotee of the Lord. He could have asked the Lord to get rid of everything in his life, right? But why? He didn't. Why? Because he wanted to teach us a lesson. That there will come a time that we will go through similar things. But when we are going through, then we should learn how he did it through that example. And that is the reason why Jesus Christ was telling his disciples that each one of you, pick your cross and follow him. If you want to be my real disciple, carry your cross and follow me, because I'm setting the path, I'm setting the example for you, how to carry cross. Guru Maharaj, Bhattacharya Maharaj went through all these hardships. Look at that. When even he turns like this, his collarbone breaks. So difficult. And yet, he would drive through. That time, Gita Nagari road was not paved. The potholes. Drive, and any little shake, so much pain. He will still drive and come here and give lecture, preach to us. So if he is going through this and a similar thing happens to you, what do? You take cue, you learn from what he went through, so that they can fortify you to understand that Krishna never abandons you. Krishna is always on your side. Krishna never abandons you. Krishna always is on our side. If even you don't worship Krishna, Krishna is always on your side. Srila Prabhupada always says you see anytime Prabhupada signs his letters to his disciples, your ever well-wisher. The Guru and Krishna, they are always our well-wishers. They wish us well. So Krishna never abandons you. It doesn't matter how you want to abandon him. He will always be there for you. So sometimes he brings some lessons in your life to teach you how you can cross over a hurdle, how your eyes can open for you to realize that he's there waiting for you. But unfortunately, we don't see those, what do we call it? Messages when they come through. We misinterpret it. We misinterpret it.
You know the story about the king who lost his finger?
Yeah.
You want to tell it?
Yeah. Yeah, so Jagannath Pandit is making a reference to the king that a very good friend came to donate a golden knife to the king, and the king was so happy. And whilst he was trying to fumble with the knife, the knife took off his thumb, and the king was immediately upset. A minute ago, he was so happy having a golden knife. Then the next moment, because his thumb was cut off, he became so upset. So immediately he wanted to go and arrest the person who donated the knife to him. And so, but he seek advice from his minister. So what do you think? This guy who gave me this knife, what do I do to him? The minister said nothing. Because the thumb that is gone is the mercy of the Lord. The king was so mad. How can losing my thumb be the mercy of the Lord? So immediately he ordered that the minister be put in prison. And always this king will go around his kingdom. And most of the time when he goes with the minister. But because he has now imprisoned the minister, this time when he went alone. And whilst he was touring in the forest, some worshippers of Kali grabbed him and wanted to use him as a sacrifice for the goddess Kali. And so when they prepared him everything, and they was ready to do the sacrifice. The chief priest came and inspected the sacrificial lamb, and he said, "Oh, you guys are stupid. Can't you see that this sacrifice is with blemish? He is not complete. We cannot offer anything that is not complete to the goddess Kali because he has no tongue. Leave him, let him go." Then the king come back and he now realized that, oh, losing his tongue is actually a blessing. Because if he had not lost his tongue, he would have lost his head today, right? So he said, okay, now I understand that losing my tongue is a blessing. So let me bring my minister out of the prison. And so he asked the minister, okay, now I understand that losing my tongue is the blessing of God. But what about you? You gave me such a good advice and I imprisoned you. So what about that too? And the minister said, that is also the blessing of God. Because if you had not imprisoned me, I would have been with you in the forest. And if the people saw that you were incomplete, I would have been the next sacrifice. So you imprison me also saved my life. So that is the nature of this world. Everything that happens in my life happens for a purpose. And Krishna always let it happen to us for a good purpose. But unfortunately, because we are so dumb, when even the good things happen to us, we don't realize it. And that is why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that I'm seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. Right? So if we actually get absorbed in chanting the holy names of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Once we learn and try to get ourselves absorbed in the Lord, then when anything happens to us, the Lord will give us the knowledge by which we can understand why those things have happened to us. Right? Other than that, we will use our own interpretation. And we get it wrong. Always. When we use our own interpretation, we always get it wrong. But when we use the interpretation of the pure devotee and Krishna, we always get it right. It's very important that we always depend on the Guru and Krishna. And they will always give us the understanding by which we can see everything that comes our way as a blessing, but not a curse. All right? We have some few minutes to get out. The pujaris are ready. Any other contribution from the audience? All right. Tantaram Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Radha Damodara ki jai. Thank you very much.
Hi, Chakapu ki jai.
Srila Krishna Pad ki jai. Yes. Because you talk to that Bhagavatam Samasita Buddha Shuddharanga Kanda Bhagavati Kamaniya Vishesha Siva Govinda Adi Purusha Tamaham Bhajami Govinda Adi Purusha Tamaham Bhajami Govinda Adi Purusha Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yashya Sakale Driyavritimante Vashyanti Panti Kalayanti Shirayati Ananda Sadhu Yara Vigrasya Govinda Adipurusha Tamam Bhajami Govinda Adipurusha Tamam Bhajami Govinda Adipurusha Tamam Bhajami Govinda Hari Purusha 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 Purusha Tamam Bhajami Govinda Hari Purusha Tamam Bhajami Govinda Hari Purusha Bhajami Govinda Hari Purusha Bhajami Govinda Hari Purusha Bhajami Govinda Purusha Bhajami Govinda Hari Purusha Bhajami Govinda Govinda Hari Purusha Govinda Purusha Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe Radha Damodara Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe Damodara Radha Damodara Radha Jaya Lalita Vishaka Lalita Vishaka Shri Radhe Lalita Vishaka Lalita Vishaka Shri Radhe Jaya Jagana Jaya Jagana Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jagana Guranita Jaya Guranita Guranita Jaya Guranita Guranita Jaya Guranita Guranita Jaya Guranita Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya 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 Gopala Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya 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 Gopala Jaya Chandra Manahare Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Manahare Govinda Jaya Jaya Jai Govinda Jai Pa Isava Madhava Jaya Govinda Jai Gopal Kesava Madhava Nandaya Jai Govinda Jai Gopala Kesava Madhava Nandaya Jai Govinda Jai Gopal Kesava Madhava Nandaya Kesava Madhava Nandaya Kesava Madhava Nandaya Madhava Nandaya Kesava Madhava Nandaya Achyuta Kesava Kesava Madhava Govinda Gopala Hare Kesava Kesava Madhava Govinda Gopala Hare Achyuta Kesava Kesava Madhava Govinda Gopala Hare Achyuta Kesava Kesava Madhava Govinda Gopala Hare Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Guru Deva, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru Charana Padma, Kivala Vakati Sadma, Narayana Padma, Kivala Vakati Sadma, Andamoye Sadhana, Pamute, Sadhana, Jahan Rasa, Deva, Deva Vata, Buddha, Deva, Deva Vata, Jaja, Krishna Prati, Ho, Jaha, Jai, Ho, Jaha, Jai, Krishna Prabhu, Jai Guru Papa Pagya Shite Kor Ya Kya Kya Shite Kor Ya Kya Aranago Shiva Sa Sa Aranago Shiva Sa Mane Sa Shri Shri Chara Ate Eseo Magake Ningate Eseo Magake Yuprashani Nipuri Sarva Asa Sava Asa Yuprashani Puri Sarva Asa Shila Prabhupada Padita Pavantana Daya Gurudev Padita Pavantana Ufa Pas Kapas Nama Krishna Krishna Janamati Mati Krishna Samspadu Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Advaita Radha Shiva Sani Gaura Bhaja Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu
Thank you
Nityananda
for the darshan. Hare Krishna.
Gadadha Sani Gaura Bhaja Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jai Gita Just Vasili Prabhupada Vrinda Guru Bhatta Vrinda Guru Bhatta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Ishvara Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Yes, I know. I didn't question it. Om Vishnu Pada Brahman Sabarila Janicha Jastu Tarasda Srimad is wine grace of Krishna and Vrindavantinasa Swami Prabhupada Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya Jagaguru Param Guru Swami Prabhupada Kami. ISKCON Naravatman Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai. Nanta Koti Vaishnav Ki Jai. Shri Namacharya Brahmacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Dagadara Sri Vasari Guru Vata Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Damodara Gopakupna Shama Kun Radha Kunjigodana Ki Jai. Brajabhumi Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Vimatura Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Jagannathpuri Dham Ki Jai. Shri Gita Nagari Dham Ki Jai. Glories to your beautiful Lordship, Shri Shri Radha Damodara Lalita Vishaka Ki Jai. Glories to your beautiful Lordship, Shri Shri Golnitai Ki Jai. Glories to your beautiful Lordship, Shri Shri Jagannath Baladi Subhadra Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Mood Distribution Ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan Yadriya Ki Jai. Hare Krishna Mahamantra Ki Jai. Sama Vida Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gora Brahmanande. All glories to the Son of the Waters. All glories to the Son of the Waters. All glories to the Son of the Waters. All glories, all glories, all glories to the glories of Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. The Lord of Sweet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attend your devotional service. Vow to his Lord of Sweet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross over the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the profession that fulfills all desires. The open that manifests and frees my heart and transcendental me. He is my Lord, birth of the bed. From him I started free my emanates, by him ignorance is destroyed. The very scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, friend of the poor and Lord, the master of all the devotees. Oh, master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the heavens. You take shelter at your lotus feet. Srila Prabhupada ki.
His mind is always seeing how he can do some kind of service, improve this and improve that. So yeah, it's hard to sleep, I guess. It's that kind of consciousness. See. Hare Krishna, Tarka Prabhu. Closing out.